Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network. Specifically, here talking Packers with Steve as we go through past week, heading into the next week, and all that on above. In regards to talking about all 32 teams, and it's certainly going to be interesting in regards to especially some teams. We have three left, right, that are undefeated, left that are defeated, winless, and you'll talk about defeated. The Jets field depleted, and disaster there in New York. But either way, it's a journey, wouldn't you say? Welcome my co-host AJ. It's a journey of a season.
Oh yeah.
But from a broad spectrum, what two teams do you think need to get a W the most here in this upcoming week 4?
For this upcoming week, my two
One team, two
teams that
teams, whatever you think that need
my
to.
my two teams that I think need to win are the I'm gonna go with the Jets. Even though they play the Chiefs, they're not going to win, but the Jets definitely need to win.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go with the Giants. I think they need to get another one in the win column. They've looked pretty rough. They've only had one win, and it was that comeback win against Arizona. They got Seattle on Monday night at home. They're going to bring that crowd back out that they let down on Sunday night when they played Dallas, another primetime game. But I think the Giants are going to need a win this week. So both New York teams, Jets, Giants.
Hey, there you go. Unplanned, but that's just how it went for AJ, and I respect that, and I see that. For me, the two teams, and hopefully these make sense too, is the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off a game where they should have won and losing to Houston in a big way at home. And they have the London game coming up here. And then, even though they're our foe, the Purple Devils, as some people call them, but the Vikings. Vikings needing a win in a battle of winless. There's 4 winless technically, and they're battling each other. So at the end, half of them are going to be their first win, half is going to win.
I hope the Broncos and Bears tie. I'm rooting for a tie.
I'm not going to lie, I was just about to say, those type of games, the battle of the winless, are ones that probably will get the tie. Beyond the battle of the Dolphins-Bills game,
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild that both games did.
But no doubt.
But for me, since I've been doing this podcast and just in general football life, and I don't know this verbatim, and for sure, so someone might have to Google this, but I think every season for the past 10 years has been at least one tied game each season. Different week, of course, but at least one tied game, if not more than that.
Seems pretty accurate, honestly.
But anyways, we'll go back in the past. That was, last week, and go over week number 3. It started off with the 49ers stomping the Giants 30-17, or 30-12, I'm sorry. And I know most, saw that coming, unfortunately. We have the Giants fan. We met Adriana, during that show. And then the Falcons lost to the Lions 28-6. Chargers over the Vikings 28-24 in a close game.
Great game.
Then we had our game 18-17. The Packers come back and want to talk about a great game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jordan Love showing that he is him.
Needed.
I'm going to ask you this question, AJ. I don't know the answer here. Honestly, with your opinions and thoughts, the young man and smart guy you are, very smart and intelligent. Was there any point during that Saints game when we were down to 17-0, and this isn't Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre 17-0? Did you worry? Yeah, maybe this isn't our week. Let's just focus on Detroit.
It just seemed like the whole game it was like that. The offensive line, all the penalties were horrible. They played so undisciplined. The O-line, the receivers blocking, they really struggled. It wasn't so much the protection, but the penalties were killing them over and over, and it never seemed like that offense was ever going to get it going. I mean, Derek Carr gets hurt, but I feel like even if Derek Carr played, our defense got hot, our offense got hot, and if the fourth down that we didn't convert when we drove all the way down there, and then we didn't get it, I felt like it was over. But if I was really sitting there, I was like, man, if we score here, our offense is moving, we're getting stops. I was like, we're good. Like we can get a couple more stops, score again, and then we don't get the stop, and I was like, huh. And we don't get it, and then we come back, get a stop, and then end up scoring. It was an impressive win, no doubt. I didn't expect it in the slightest, but we went from the most undisciplined team in the entire league probably to coming back and winning. It was a huge win. First game in Lambeau, first start for Jordan Lambeau. Couldn't have been a bigger thing for his confidence and even for the fans there. That was great.
Exactly. And that was good for him. Good for his confidence, good for the team. Especially being down all those players that were out last week.
No doubt.
I know some of them are going to be out for tomorrow's game, but we're hopeful for at least two of them, our running back and our wide receiver, to come back.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see about that. But moving forward, reviewing last week, Houston over Jacksonville, as we were talking about, 37-17.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins with the first time in almost NFL history, 70 points over Denver, 70-20 there. Browns over the Titans, 27-3. Bills over the Commanders, 37-3. Colts over the Ravens, 22-19. Patriots over the Jets, 15-10. Seattle Seahawks winning at home by 10, 37-27. The Chiefs laying the smackdown on the Bears,
Loved it.
41-10, yes. And then the surprise of the week that I love personally was Arizona defeating Dallas, 28-16.
Mm-hmm. Also great.
There for the Bird Gang, their fan base is called. Steelers over the Raiders, 23-18 on the road. The Eagles beat up on the Buccaneers, 25-11. And the Bengals survived the Rams, 19-16 there. You know, it was an interesting week, that was. I mean, was there any of those outcomes and scores and blah, blah, blahs that you felt was most surprising to you personally, even in general?
Right off the get-go, it has to be the Cardinals over the Cowboys and the Texans over the Jaguars. I mean, Cardinals, they only got one win, but they've showed signs. They're a sneaky team, and they play good. They play hard, and they've given some teams some trouble, man. And Cowboys, they were not ready for that. And then Jacksonville, you know, I don't really know what they're doing right now, but C.J. Stroud, man, he's showed some signs. He looks really good. Really good. I'm happy for him too as a Buckeye fan, but I'm happy to see that he's showing signs even with that horrible offensive line they got, man. But that team showing some promise, and you never know in the AFC South they might be able to make a push even for maybe, I wouldn't say first because it will still probably be the Jaguars, but that division's not very good. So they could probably limb around maybe, but it has to be those two for me that just stuck out the most.
Yeah, they could still be a general surprise team to get a wild card, right? You know, they might not get the division, still be able to have that. But it was a wild week, of course, some upsets, and we might be seeing some more here this week. And it's another awesome week of NFL football, as it always is.
Absolutely.
You know, now that we start our prediction battle here, we're now 3 weeks into it. And as I share on my Twitter at talking_Packers that people can follow, our week 3, after week 3 results, we had Bernie Bango from Big Cheese, 12-4. AJ Eller, 12-4. Me at 9-7, and then Gunny at 9-7 as well. Still 2 tied in the top, 2 tied in the bottom, and then overall, AJ and Big Cheese, we'll just say, are tied at 30-18, and me and Gunny are tied at 27 and 21 overall, heading into week number 4. But yeah, you guys had a big week this week. It's pretty good. You know,
first 12 win week here. Keep it going.
Well, we'll see how we do because we start already for tomorrow. We are heading into week number 4 tomorrow, Thursday night game.
Oh yeah,
Packer fans, don't forget, you gotta get Amazon Prime if you want to be watching this game. Lions at Packers in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. AJ, the one in the gear, ready to go. What do you say? What are your thoughts, and what do you think are the X factors to us getting the W?
So first off, the Packers got to stop the run. There's got to be some way that they can slow down their 2 running backs, and it's probably not so much David Montgomery, but Jahmyr Gibbs worries me. He hasn't fully broken out yet and had a complete game, but I just feel like playing the Packers, everyone finds a way to do it somehow. And they got to limit Gibbs. They got to limit their big plays. Goff in the play action loves the big play. We got to slow down Amon-Ra. Laporte showed really, really good signs. He's going to be tough, but defense is going to have a huge test. If defense plays well, there's no reason we don't win the game. My X factors, I don't even really know if you'd say X factor, but Rashawn Gary's just got to do what he did again. He fully dominated. Need that again. Hopefully Jair's back. I hope he shadows Amon-Ra just a little bit. But you know, I'm gonna go with Musgrave actually as my X factor for offense. Lions are one of the worst covering teams in the league on tight ends. Musgrave got hot this past week, and I think he's gonna do it again. I think he'll have a big game. You know, I like Green Bay this week in Lambeau, coming off that big win. We're getting some guys back. We're down Elton and Bach and DeAndre Campbell again, but it sounds good for Christian Watson and Aaron Jones, which is going to be huge for the offense. We're going to score points. Their defense isn't crazy. They lost Gardner Johnson, so they don't have their true leader in the back end and the secondary. I like our matchups in the wideouts. I think we're going to be able to run the ball. It's going to be up to the defense. And if the defense slows down the run, slows down the big play, then we're going to win this game. And I think that's going to happen. We're going to win this game.
Agree. I think we're gonna win. I think for me the X factor is Christian Watson if he's able to play or not. Just as much as Aaron Jones. I think again if they're not able to go. It's interesting with Bakhtiari. I don't know if you've been seeing. I'm sure you have on X or other social media that someone wondering. Is he going to be leaving Green Bay? Is this just a prolonged thing? Like what's going on? But hopefully he'll be able to get to the lineup at some point here for the next week.
Some guys have showed some signs though. These young guys, I don't know what it is about Green Bay, man, but if you're on the depth chart as an O lineman and you get thrown in there, you just turn into a sustainable offensive lineman in the NFL. I don't know what it is, but we're just throwing in guys and they're producing. So Rasheed Walker at left tackle this coming week, I would say he had a pretty good game. Zach Tom last year, and now he's stepping into a bigger role this year. It's kind of surprising, but it's nice at the same time. Keeping Jordan safe.
Yeah. So, I'm going to Packers, of course, as well. In the win again, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, for those that don't know. Because I'm sure we'll see those tweets, like, where's this game? Yeah. But, Amazon Prime, Green Bay Packers, I think they're going to get the win, 27-17 type of win. We might not be dominant, but dominant enough where we'll be able to pull away in the fourth quarter type of win. But it would surprise me, if it comes down to we have to put it on the back of our rookie kicker, and have him get us the win, which I feel he's up to it no matter what the distance is.
Absolutely. If Matt, is confident in him, though. His confidence in him does not seem good right now. He punts the ball if it's like a 55-yard kick right now. Just let the dude kick. Let the kid kick.
Especially when he gets to that type of situation, you got to do what you have to do. Anyways, moving forward, we have the Atlanta Falcons against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. I know I talked about Jaguars needing a win. I'll go first here. I'm going with Jacksonville to get the win over the Falcons. They're a feisty bunch, a good team, especially a defense that's there to swarm on you, like actual Falcons. But I'm going to go with the Jaguars to get the win, like a 23-20 type of game, but I have Jacksonville. What say you going down in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'm going Jacksonville too. I think Atlanta could be a sneaky team for Jacksonville, but Desmond Ridder and their passing game is it's not there, and it's going to hold them back all year. I don't think he's going to be their quarterback of the future. He's just like a bridge quarterback, what you could call it, for this year. But they're a little they're a pesky team, man. But I like Jacksonville. It'll probably be pretty close, but Jacksonville will pull away.
Yep. Moving forward, we got the Rams and the Colts. This game is a closer matchup than most think, even though the Colts do have that rookie quarterback showing promise, doing well, but kind of injured, or is injured. Gardner Minshew being the one, Minshew mania, running wild even after stepping outside of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
And doing a Dan Orlovsky. But for me, I'm actually going to go with the Colts. I'll go first here again. I'm going to go with the Colts over the Rams, like a 27-10 kind of win. I feel they'll be able to do really well. Such a defense matching up against Stafford in that offense. I know they have that breakout wide receiver in LA, but I just think the Colts will be able to get it done. Home field advantage, Minshew mania, other things. Defense mainly. Defense will be able to hold it down, be the reason they win.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with the Colts personally. What say you? How do you see going down for the Colts?
Yeah, I don't know if I haven't heard anything about Anthony Richardson yet, but either way, I'm going Colts too. The Rams, their O-line is beat up, and it didn't look good Monday night, especially towards the end of the game, and I think it's just going to continue this week against the Colts. Colts are another really pesky team, man. They play hard. They're always in the game, no matter who they play. Big win at Baltimore. They're coming back home playing the Rams, like the Colts.
And moving forward, we have the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Cleveland Browns. They're in Cleveland. AJ, what say you here with AFC North battle?
Oh yeah, these two teams always have a good game, no matter what. But I'm going with the Browns. I like what I saw more this week from Deshaun, and their run game still looked the same with Jerome Ford. Defense is so elite. I don't know if Lamar will have to use his feet a lot. I just don't think he's going to be able to get it done to beat Cleveland through the air. And I think Deshaun keeps progressing like he did this week, and I'm taking the Browns in a close one.
Me too. I'm going with the Browns. I think, just like I was talking about the Colts game, it's going to be the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cleveland going to be able to get after them out there. Might get a sack or two and whatnot. Maybe a fumble, strip sack, fumble, touchdown. Who knows? Whatever. But I think it's going to be the defense mainly that's going to help the Browns get the win beyond just Deshaun Watson in the offense. I'm going to go Cleveland over Baltimore, 17-13 type of win, and they go from there. Here, one of the battles of the winless teams, we have the Vikings against the Panthers in Carolina. So, AJ, what say you? How do you see the Minnesota Vikings doing on the road?
Vikings blowout. They're going to take out all of their built-up anger and all this bad luck, you might want to call it, out this week. They're the best 0-3 team. I mean, it's hard in the NFL to come back from 0-3. I fully expect them to be somewhat in the running for a wild card. But they'll blow out the Panthers this week, man. They're getting their first one, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. I'm going the same way. I'm going Minnesota to get the win on the road. I just feel, like I said, this one thing is not like the other, and with them part of the 0-3 club, that's for sure. And I think the Vikings beat a more stable franchise in general, but just in this game, the matchup, the Vikings kind of check all the boxes in every possible factor. Head-to-head matchup with the Panthers. So, unfortunately, Vikings over Panthers, 37-12 type of win. Moving forward, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road facing the Tennessee Titans. Joe Burrow, hopefully he'll keep playing. You make it tough it through, as he said. The win at home against the Rams. I go first here. I'm going with the Bengals to get the win. 17-13 type of win, whatever, but just being able to get it done. What say you? What's Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm going Bengals too. The Titans always play people tough. They didn't this week, and I don't really think they will this week either. I think their secondary is just not good enough, and I think the Bengals' passing game is just going to continue to get better. You saw them get Jamar more involved this week. It's just going to keep happening. I like the Bengals. I like their offense. They're going to put it to them this week.
And here we go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the New Orleans Saints on the road. I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a win on the road. The Saints are without Derek Carr. And I just feel that Tampa Bay, even coming off a loss, still is against Philadelphia. So it's understandable. Yeah. And they did keep it somewhat close, even though it felt worse. But I just feel, again, my confidence in Baker and all that. Their defense is building up to be better, even with losing people in the offseason. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. What say you happening in New Orleans?
This one is kind of tough. I don't know. The Saints have had some really good luck lately, and they played really well against Tampa Bay the past couple of years. Even when they had Brady, they dominated them. I was leaning the Bucs all week this week, but I just think that Jameis is like a serviceable backup quarterback, and they're going to have Kamara back this week, and he's started some games with some of these receivers. Their defense is still good. I'm going New Orleans this week in a really close one, but I just think that Jameis can do enough to beat Tampa Bay. And I think New Orleans defense is going to hold him in the game the whole time and get some big stops and big turnovers on Baker.
Respect that. See how that one goes down. Moving forward, probably to most the game of the week, but not yet for me. But it's the Dolphins against the Bills in Buffalo. That battle of the East battle there.
Oh, yeah.
I know as we go through our predictions, I know you have your stuff written down, and I do appreciate that because for me, it's off the top of my head because,
oh, yeah.
Who prepares, But I know just for those that know, we do our prediction battles. We do share them here on air, of course, but then we have our private DM message with the group where we each individually put our picks in. So we will be doing that later. But the reason I bring that all up is because I would have put one thing and then the other and then change it and whatnot because it's this is a toss up to me. That's my point. Like it's a toss up. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. And I just don't want to be prisoner of the moment because they did have that 70 beatdown
Oh yeah.
on a Denver defense that is almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills with a win, 46-45 type of win. It'll be a blowout. Not a blowout. It'll be a showout. Both offenses. I mean, again, it's 46-45 win. So I got Buffalo Bills getting the win. What say you? Do you think the Dolphins can keep this momentum train going against the national defense?
I like the Bills this week. I think the Bills defense is good enough, and they're going to slow down Tua and those guys. I don't know if anyone can slow down Tyreek, especially with I don't know if Waddle's playing, but I think the Bills force a couple turnovers on Tua this week. You know, it hasn't been happening quite as much as it has in the past couple of years to Tua, but I expect the Bills to get a couple interceptions, get to them, sack them, and I like the Bills' defense more, and their offense is maybe just as good, but it's still up there with Josh Allen and Diggs. I like the Bills in a close one. But I'm going the Bills.
Mm-hmm. Now we were just talking about a couple of times in regards to the Bears and the Broncos in different type of situations, but here's the matchup: you got Denver against Chicago, and you know what? I know, and I've done this in the last couple of seasons too. You know, I can't always just put the obvious game of the weeks, at least from my end. So for me, my game of the week, for the opposite reason as one should pick game of the week, is Denver Broncos facing the Chicago Bears.
A little different. I like that.
Because it is the battle to win this. Someone should win, right? And when you have a game like this,
be surprised.
Coin flip, close your eyes and point. I don't know, do something like that. Whatever to pick. And for me, it's the home field. I'm sorry to say this as a Packer fan. Our hated rivals in the North, but a team we did defeat in Week 1. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears to get the win over Denver, 13-3 type of win. Just be able to, because you know, Denver, I just feel that their defense not being able to be 100% there. Yes, you know, the Bears have had the problems. And though I just think they'll be able to get it done, really. You know, and matchup-wise, there's some things that Denver might have more over to Chicago. Chicago is more than Denver. I think, you know, just be able to get it done. Home field advantage, crowd, all that secondary stuff. I'm going to go with the Bears. What say you happening in Chicago?
I mean, I hope it's a tie. I'm hoping for a tie. But I'm going Broncos. After last week, I don't think there's a way that Sean Payton can lose 70 to whatever and then come to Chicago and lose to probably the worst team in the league. He might literally have to will his way to win this game, but right. I think it's also big for Russell Wilson. You know, if you lose this game to the Bears, you go 0-4, and you lose to the Bears, they might move on. They might. I mean, 0-4, Sean Payton's first year, it's going to get ugly. But I think they get it done. Chicago's terrible. They're terrible. But it would probably be like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like 14-14 or something like that. But I'm going Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. I trust those two way more than I trust Justin Fields and anyone else on the Bears team. So I'm going Broncos.
I respect that. But, you know, I just thought about, you were talking about, hey, you wouldn't be surprised 21-21. I wouldn't be surprised, since both teams seem that they can't get out of their own way in different ways, that it could be like a 3-3, 9-9 type of game in the fourth quarter. And are going into overtime, and like even Broncos fans, I don't know if you heard of or seen any of the YouTube videos of Brandon Perna, but you know, he's a Broncos fan and a popular YouTuber, and you know, even him, because he does live reactions during it, or not live play-by-play, not live reaction, but whatever, you know, that sort of stuff. And he probably would be, you know, he'll just get to a point being bored. Like, it's going to be a 9-9 game. I could see that happening, and someone finally winning with like 4 seconds left in overtime. But either way, that's going to be that type of game. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. I'm moving on to a game that probably won't be close, but I want it to be close because I do really respect the away team. We have the Washington Commanders going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles 42-13, destroy them, whatever. but I really hope that it's a closer game. Commanders can cover, let alone win. So, my heart might be pulling for the Commanders, but I'm logically and actually, picking the Philadelphia Eagles. What say you? How do you think he's going to go in this actual divisional matchup?
Yeah, I'm going Eagles all the way. I mean, what the Commanders showed last week against Buffalo was kind of disheartening. I didn't expect that. I kind of thought they'd play them tougher than that, but it was ugly in every way. It made Sam Howell just look like the Sam Howell that people kind of expected. But I expect that to be this week as well. I think the Eagles are going to blow them out, and I just don't see it. I don't see how they're going to score points to beat the Eagles.
Understood. All right, moving right along, we got the Steelers against the Texans in Houston. Battle here. But what say you? What do you think? Think Houston can get 2 in a row?
If they were playing maybe anyone else, I just don't think that Tomlin is going to lose to the Texans. The Steelers secondary is not the greatest, but the Texans O-line is terrible, and I expect the Steelers to have a big day, getting Stroud, making them uncomfortable, and then the Steelers offense has played a little better. I know they haven't played any, great defenses, but I'm going Pittsburgh. I trust Tomlin. I like the Steelers this week.
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to go with the Steelers as well, probably 27-23, but still getting the win there. We got the Raiders and the Chargers. I'm going to go first here. I'm going to go actually with the Raiders to get a surprise win here. Maybe 17-13 type of win, but a close game, getting wins, surprising people, and beating the LA Chargers. But what say you happening in LA?
I'm going Chargers. The Chargers they only got one win, but their offense has played good enough, and the Raiders' defense is one of the worst, and especially their secondary. And I expect the Chargers to keep throwing it around. Another big week for Keenan Allen, probably, especially with Mike Williams down. But I expect that offense to keep going. I expect them to keep winning, and I'm going Chargers.
All right, and then here we go for another one. Can Arizona do 2 upsets in a row? Man, it might be tough. We got Arizona and San Francisco here. I was going to go 49ers on a blowout, 43-12, but what say you? Think Arizona has a chance to keep it close?
No, not in San Francisco. The 49ers just got too much. I mean, they're the best. I think they're the best team in the league right now. Defense, offense, weapons, everything. They got everything going for them. And Cardinals come in with no chance. I'm going 49ers all the way.
All right, moving right along, we got the Patriots and the Cowboys in the interesting matchup for Sunday Night Football on October 1st. Cowboys coming off a loss to Arizona on the road, though. New England getting a win over the Jets, yes, but still doing confidence. Patriots, they still have that old ball coach, and he knows what he's doing. I'm going to go New England. I'm going to go New England to actually surprise Dallas to get punched again in a way. 23-13. New England over Dallas. I mean, I don't know. This is how I see it. How do you see it? Do you see Dallas?
Yeah. I'm picking Dallas, but I would not be surprised in any way if they would lose this game. The Patriots play everyone tough, and the Cowboys showed that without Trevon Diggs that they're vulnerable. I mean, Josh Dobbs had a great game. Everyone for the Cardinals really had a great game on that defense that we all thought was the best in the league. I mean, probably still do, but Mac Jones will have a tough game too. I just don't see them scoring enough points against the Cowboys, but I like it. A close game for sure. I'm going Dallas. If this wasn't like a primetime game, I would maybe lean a little more to the Patriots, but I just don't think they can disappoint those fans. I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah, I respect that. That's for sure. Well, the next game, I don't know. Probably won't be close. I think the bigger storylines is, should Trevor Siemian start? And is Taylor Swift in the building? Those two are the biggest things, in this match. Chiefs, Jets. I guess in regards to, give you a prediction, but also your whole thoughts on this whole Jets situation, and what would you do if you were their GM, and how do you try to move forward and salvage this season?
I don't even know. I don't know where to start. I mean, their quarterback situation is terrible. I mean, there's nothing they can do to even. I don't think they can even salvage this season. Like, it's starting to lean towards the way like this is going to be bad. Like they could end up with like a top 10 pick this year. I mean, it is terrible. I mean, I don't even know what to say. They only have one problem. The rest of the team is good. You just got Zach Wilson, and then you got Trevor Simeon or whatever, and then you got Robert Salah. Their coach is, I don't know why, but he's siding with Zach Wilson. He's losing the trust of the entire team. I think it's just going to get worse. Kansas City's going to roll in there, and they're just going to smack them around, and things are just going to continue to snowball in New York.
And the issue is really like the options that are out there, the ones that are interested. I know Colin Kaepernick sent a letter to them, but
Yeah,
I don't know about that. But
no.
even Carson Wentz. I was talking with one of my Jets buddies, and he was stating about, we should have gotten Carson. Why aren't he? What's the issue? What's the red flags on Carson that they're not going after him and instead going with, somebody that they know. Trevor Simeon was with the Jets in the past, and they actually faced him last year when he was a backup to the Bears.
Yeah.
But you want to try to save your season. I know you're trying to hold on to Wilson because he was a high pick. 1, 2, because he is buddies with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next season, hopefully, and you don't want to upset the guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It might be a little bit of everything, but I get what you mean. I think it's just the locker room's going crazy. You saw those outbursts on the sidelines, and then on Twitter, that interaction with who was that? Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
And those two, because I was trying to remember, the former Packer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, just, those type of situations, that's not good, whether PR-wise or just in general-wise, and I think, frustration's blowing over. I'm sure worse things happened in the locker rooms or whatever. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear of any fights, but still verbally, it's just unfortunate what's going on, and especially for those Jets fans, they had so much high hopes. We had Gunny on for the season preview too, and how much Super Bowl, this, that, how we think this, and all that, which is understandable, but just in 4 snaps, that's gone, and that's tough. Year. It's tough, and then you have to switch back to Zach, and now some of the Jets fans are wondering maybe Salah's in the hot seat. It's just
I've heard that, so.
It's unfortunate.
There's nothing he can do. I don't know what people expect him to do, honestly. Like, if they switch quarterbacks,
he's trying.
Really he's just better. I mean, they have to choose between literally guys who've basically only been backup quarterbacks in the league. I mean, they're not going to win games.
Right, and what exacerbates it even more, makes it worse, is that the fact now we're going to have this Chiefs game for them, and fans and the team probably already know it's going to be a beatdown, which is just going to bring it up then for the next week and whatever. So it's not just, okay, we lost to Bill Belichick, and that annoys people because it's a division foe, and Bill always has their number. But I think people were getting angry quickly and about the whole coach on the hot seat thing because their minds are already with the Chiefs blowout loss. Like, even though it didn't happen yet, some of them, not all of them, preface by saying that, but we're just already there where then they're like, we need to do things, and it's just unfortunate. And I know some people were thinking that's what's going to happen with the Packers after Aaron left, but we're doing fine.
Absolutely.
All love in the air, right? So,
absolutely.
And now we're talking about with our predictions taking the division after week 3 for now, because it's me, us, and the Lions. So, I just find it interesting from what was the offseason of the Jets and Packers and the fan bases within the teams, and then outside the teams of the Packers are going to go back to the 80s and absolutely suck, and the Jets are going to take over the world, and now it's flipped, and
absolutely. Can't count us out, man.
Now, I know you said and I don't mean to, because we're almost at the last game here, but just to continue this conversation, I know you said how confident you were then, during our preview show, during your debut on here, and but truly in your soul, how confident truly were? Like, my point is, like, how truly confident were you? Were you just saying that to say that? Did you really believe 100%, or were you just hopeful because you didn't want to think any other way?
I fully thought that, and I fully think that. I mean,
Respect, yeah.
our I trust the staff, like, somewhat, you know? We still got Joe Barry, and it
Still got
goes
that
either
defensive
way, but
coordinator, yeah.
I trust the staff, and I trust the receivers showed a promise at the end of the year, and, you know, Aaron didn't have the greatest year, and fully said I told everybody, I was like, "Jordan can have the year that he had or even better," and up to this point, he's had a better year so far, and I think it's only just gonna keep progressing. His confidence is through the roof. Everyone in that whole organization, everyone that's a fan is behind Jordan, would go to war for Jordan anywhere, any day, anytime. I
Mhm.
mean, the people love Jordan, and it's a different voice. He pumps those guys up. He has energy like we've never really seen before, at least for the past couple of years. And it's just put a whole spark on this team. They're young, they fly around. I mean, we've had our hiccups and we're going to continue to have our hiccups, but man, this team, they're going to be electric the rest of this year. And I think it starts tomorrow. I think they're going to make a statement to the rest of the NFL. They're going to win tomorrow, be first in the NFC North, and they're going to keep going. They play the
Mhm.
Raiders Monday night after that, and then they get a bye. We're going to get some guys back, and then you never know, man. We take off. But
Starting
yeah,
to win.
I fully stick by what I said. 11-6.
Oh,
We're
I
going to
didn't
win
say
the
you
North.
wouldn't. Yeah, I was just wondering though.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I didn't think you
but
were changing your mind. I just was thinking
yeah,
of your mindscape or your mind
mm,
space then of were you saying that truly you believe, or because you didn't want to think any other way, like some
mm,
fans were about we're going to be bad going back to the 1980s and all that.
mm. If the game Sunday played out the rest of the way that it looked like it was going to, and we just lost like that, I mean, it would have put a little damper on what I thought, and it would have put me in like it would make me feel uncomfortable a little bit just because, you know, we lose to the Falcons the way we did, and then we get blown out at home, first game at Lambeau, and then you're 1-2, or yeah, 1-2. Yeah, it would have been tough, but we ended up coming back. This team showed, I mean, they're never going to give up. They're in every single game, and
Yeah, because that
we're
first,
definitely, yeah, we're in for a roller coaster season for sure, but I'm I'm ready.
but
No
at least
doubt. I love the way it's going.
I agree, and at least with the roller coaster, we're near the top and the bottom, right, in the division, right. So even though it
Mhm.
is going to be a roller coaster, it's not going to be perfect. We're going to have our ups or downs, and not just with losses, but just in general.
Yep,
Having to pull it out, but it shows a lot of growth already with Jordan Love. It shows that
for
maybe
sure.
we could, or at least for me, for as old as I am, be able to continue to be spoiled and have great quarterback play and be in
Mhm.
the conversation for the playoffs, and that's hopeful, right? And that's what we want. Be able to still be, chances in regards to get the NFC North,
Mhm.
and I know I talked about heading into the season. It's a more relaxed environment with Jordan Love. It's a different tone. That first half though was a mess. I don't know what was up
No doubt.
with that backward pass, trying to conversion kind of thing where he
It
like
was it
almost
it
did the
was
split.
really it honestly was a great play call. I mean, Emmanuel
Well, yeah,
Wilson threw a bad throw over to Jordan, and then it just looked
because the
like
guy
Jordan
was open.
flipped. He was wide open, wide open. It was gonna be a big play.
It was just
And the
unfortunate, yeah.
whole I mean, Matt does this. He has good schemes, and he does the right thing for most of the time and calls the right stuff. It's just
But it's just about the
seems like it,
execution.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's always something with execution, and it's how it's going to be with the young guys. But a lot of guys have showed promise, man. I love Jaden Reed. I'm so
Yeah,
excited
I'm
about
like
Jaden Reed.
I know I've been on.
That kid, he had some drops, but he showed that last drive, he had that diving catch, that huge play to get us down
Mhm.
the red zone. He's going to be a stud. I like him. I liked him when he was at Michigan State. I liked him when we drafted him, and now he's each week progressing. And
Same
we'll
with
see when everyone's playing. We get
right.
Christian back and everything, but
We
I'm
get Christian
excited
back.
about
We
the
have
Dolphins.
right, and Samari Toure showing up a little bit more.
Mm,
Musgrave showing his worth and maturing
for
as
sure.
well. I think that I think we got. I'm sure you heard in the offseason we might have gotten our next our equivalent to Travis Kelsey. A tight end that's
Oh yeah,
big, brash, and be able
love
just
Musgrave.
to just be a dominant force that
Mm,
annoys other fan bases, like Kelsey annoys other fan bases
oh
while they're
yeah,
playing him because he is that good and making all these plays, or you can just be like just get it, and it's just so simple, it's so easy. He's brute, not Groot, but it's I'm really hopeful for what Musgrave can be. And I
Oh
think what he
yeah.
can be is a dominant tight end and be able to
Mhm.
be the key to our offense just as much as um, Aaron Jones or as much as Christian Watson or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
in that field. Because then if he can be, and then offenses have to deal with him, then we got the Christian.
Middle of the field,
And then
it
play
opens up
actions to
so
him and
much.
all that. It opens up the offense. I think the point is,
Mhm.
it and be able to get that done. But we do have one more game to predict. That is Monday Night Football. The team you were talking about that you feel is another team that need to win, the other New York team. So we got Seattle against the Giants in MetLife Stadium with the Giants logo, of course, because they're the home team.
Mhm.
I do like that they're doing that in the NFL logo they have for the past,
Yeah.
50 years. It's nice that they put the team there. Anyways, I'll let you go first. What say you happening in the Meadowlands for the Giants?
I said they needed a win, but I don't think they're going to win. I'm going I'm going with Seattle. I just I don't like what I've seen so far from New York. They got their problems, and Seattle's starting to play a little better. Uh, I like their offense more. Their defense is better. I'm going Seattle. It'll be a really close game, but yeah, I just don't think the Giants are getting it done.
I think they do, but I don't think it's going to look pretty. I think they're going to be
Yeah.
able to hold Seattle there again. I think it's going to be like a low scoring game. Might be a boring game. I might be clicking and watching some Monday Night Raw
Mhm.
in WB because I still do watch. But anyways, I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to go with the G-Men getting the win in a close game, but scoring game. I
Yeah.
think Daniel Jones will be able to hang. I think it's going to be like a 23-17 type of win. I think it's going to be close. So as we do every single week, of course, I showed with my helmets. So you, AJ, I'll let you have the floor here with the. Hold on here. All right, we're ready to go. All right, so share for you your game of the week and why.
I don't want to be biased. I was going to go with Dolphins and Bills, but it's the Lions at the Packers this week. This game's huge. I think it's huge for the team. I think it's huge for everything. I mean, we can take control over the NFC North within 4 weeks. We can send a message to the rest of the league. The Lions are a good team, and they're coming in here. They're going to be healthier. We're going to be healthier. It's going to be a true test for us, and I think Jordan's going to show everybody that he's going to be that next Green Bay quarterback that is around for a long time, and it's going to start tomorrow in prime time in Lambeau. It's my game of the week, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. I mean, I cannot wait for tomorrow.
I know, me too. It's going to be good. I mean, hopefully we can get that
Yeah.
win, and yes, and of course, I will usually would show the helmets, but I do have them upstairs in the mantle, ready for the
All
week
good.
as I post on IG every week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, that's hey, that's fine. It's your pick. You can pick our
Oh
game.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I agree. It's a big game for both teams, right? We're battling for the division. Yes, I know there's still so much football left. So whether we
Mm-hmm.
lose or win, there's still so much football left. But it's still a big test and still a big game,
Yeah,
and it matters for that division. So be able to get a
we
win,
owe the Lions.
whether
We
it's a
owe the
yeah,
Lions.
but whether it's a close one or whether it's a blowout, it's still gonna be a great win for Green Bay. We
Mm-hmm.
are able to do so. Um, but
I think it's going to be a Matt LaFleur masterclass night. He got outcoached. He fully got outcoached in that last game last year to miss the playoffs, and I just don't think it's
right,
going to
that week
happen again.
18, yeah,
The fake punts, trick plays, whatever, it's not going to work this year. I don't think it's working tomorrow. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I just don't think it will be. I think Matt and the guys are going to be ready to go for this one. We owe this team, so
I know we lose
I'm
3 times in
excited.
a row. Yeah, I agree, and I'm excited too. Look forward to seeing how it goes down. And of course, me and AJ will be having our picks posted in our group chat stuff
Yep.
on X. But also I'll be people that will be or that do follow me on Twitter at talking_Packers. They know that I will share how everybody does for the week and the end of the week after Monday Night Football. But yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
fun, another fun week, and you'll see how it goes. But before we go, AJ, welcome to promote yourself, promote social media, and anything else you wish to share. Any last words heading into week number 4?
So my X account is just AJailer0, and then my Instagram is the same, just AJailer0. And those are my two main accounts, but as always, my X account is what I put basically everything on. My Instagram's just mostly my life stuff, but yeah, X is what I
I know
post my stuff on.
that was cool. You guys were enjoying your guys' weekend, right? You were having
Oh yeah, I can't even explain to you. I was exhausted come Sunday. I
oh yeah,
mean,
well, I bet.
I put my energy for that Ohio State game was crazy. I woke up, I was like, God, I gotta get through one more game, and then of course Green Bay comes back from 17 points and wins the game. And then at the end of that, I was like, oh my God, I
Right, because you had OSU with that, walk
oh
off,
my
and then you
gosh,
have.
it was a crazy week. I can't.
I'm sure.
It was probably one of the better weekends of football that I've had. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was so exciting.
And I was seeing you
I
guys.
needed the rest. I needed the
Oh,
off days.
for sure, for sure. You
And then
guys
of course, Green Bay has this Thursday
it's
night game.
quick
So
turnaround.
yeah, it's rolling. But Green Bay, we only got like we play this Monday night game, and then we have a bye, and then we don't play till Sunday at like 4:30 the next week. So we got
Nice little break.
some
Yeah.
days. Yeah, we had some breaks. But
And plus, even this weekend upcoming seems like a break because the game is on Thursday, right? So
yeah,
you don't have to, even though we probably will. But I mean, watching those games. But anyways, yeah, everybody, thank you for that. As watching live, I do appreciate that. We just have a couple of people coming and straggling in. Those that be watching archive, welcome to share your predictions or like the video. Subscribe, ring the bell so you know whenever I do the next video, whether it's this or any breaking news that I might do by myself. Of course, I also have my WWE podcast that will be coming back for the predictions of WWE Fastlane. I might do a video on Jade Cargill, signing with WWE that happened. News broke today with ESPN. So coming from AEW to WWE, it's a big thing. So I might be doing a video on that. But beyond that, hope you all have a great evening, rest of your day. Same day, AJ and his familia. And above all else, as always, take care.
Few minutes.
Yeah.